Where the Bengals and their star defensive end Trey Hendrickson are still at a stalemate when it comes to a new deal. They have given him permission to seek a trade, and they took a DN and Shamar Stewart in the first round of the draft. A reminder that in 17 games last season, Hendrickson notched a career-high 46 total tackles, 17.5 sacks, which led the league, and had 2 forced fumbles. We're joined now by our senior NFL writer, Jeremy Fowler, with much more. Trey Hendrickson's not the only big-name player whose future is still very much up in the air. So I want you to give an update on all of them, but let's start right there with the man in Cincinnati.
Yeah, stalemate is the right word. I've checked on this with Trey Hendrickson today. I was told no real movement on the contract front. The Bengals want to re-sign him to an extension. Hendrickson wants to stay. But there's a lot of work to do from what I understand because of that ballooning pass rush market. Guys making well over $30+ million per year. Hendrickson will need to be in that range. And the Bengals know that if they don't get this done, that Hendrickson could stay away for a good long while here. Off-season workouts, heck, maybe even games. He's pretty convicted here to want a new deal. There's no real trade movement, so it's on the team and the player to try to hash out a new contract before the season. Then you got Jalen Ramsey. The Miami Dolphins have been calling around the league to gauge trade interest in Ramsey, who's got $24 million in guarantees on his contract, which makes a trade really hard to do. My sense after asking around is the Dolphins have not wanted to cover some of that guarantee, which could make a trade prohibitive here. Los Angeles Rams have been linked to Ramsey. That could make a lot of sense as a reunion there. They know the player. And I'm told Ramsey wants to go to at least a contender, wants to go to certain locations. He'll have a short list. That could make it tough as well.
The Dolphins also have some contingency plans as well. They added to their secondary, drafting Jason Marshall and Dante Drader Jr. in the 5th round. Okay, that's the AFC. Let's go over to the NFC. Like, come on, man. Micah Parsons with the Cowboys. Like, he's still waiting for a new deal. This feels like a total no-brainer. What are you hearing about the conversations happening in Dallas?
So, El, this one is a slam dunk. Dallas knows that, but I'm told that Dallas has not ramped up negotiations with Parsons and his agent just yet. Now, they've made clear they want to do something. They're planning for it. They're budgeting for it. All those things. We know what the numbers are probably going to have to be, well above $35, $40 million per year based on his market value. But the Cowboys are always uncomfortable, or at least comfortable waiting, being patient in these situations. Yeah. We've seen it with Dak Prescott. They waited to September to do a deal. CeeDee Lamb waited till late August. Trevon Diggs, other stars. But they do have a penchant for eventually paying those guys. So they'll get to work on that at some point this summer. It just hasn't taken off yet.
Yeah, Parsons, of course, has made the Pro Bowl in all 4 seasons of his NFL career. But you cannot understate how important and integral he is to everything that they're doing in Dallas right now. Same could be said for you, Jeremy Fowler. Thanks for bringing your insight.
Appreciate it.
Matthew Golden there. The first wide receiver Green Bay's drafted in the 1st round since 2002, meaning they never did it for Aaron Rodgers, but they did do it for Jordan Love. Golden today speaking about his new QB.
He texted me literally right after I got drafted, told me it's time to go to work, congratulated me, and just told me, well, it's time to work. Yeah, I'm ready. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, and to be here, like I said, I'm gonna be present, but I'm gonna let my presence be known. I'm gonna come in here and compete. I got myself here, being myself. So that's all I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna come in here and compete and work just like I did my whole life. So it's nothing new to me. Like I said, man, I'm just happy to be here.
So is Jordan Love, who is now living his life like it's golden, as does Damian Woody, our Super Bowl champ, every single day of his life. We know that the Packers are coming off that wild card loss, but they did add some depth in the offseason. How do you think that they've positioned themselves to make a deeper run next season?
Yeah, I think the Packers are in really good position. Obviously, they added to their offensive line via free agency and the draft. You talked about Matthew Golden, their 1st-round wide receiver out of the University of Texas. He's going to add another explosive element to their passing game. They had the 5th best rushing attack in the National Football League. They ran the ball 526 times. That's a lot. But ultimately, this comes down to Jordan Love. Jordan Love, if he plays like the franchise quarterback that the Green Bay Packers organization think he is, this Green Bay team is as good as any team in the NFC. There's no question about that. I mean, you're talking about a guy that has one of the best arms in the league, obviously really good athlete. They just need him to be more consistent. If he played more consistently like he played down the stretch last year, then we're going to be talking about the Green Bay Packers along with all the other top teams in the NFC.
That's exactly what they need. They need him to be the guy he was from week 13 onward when he had a 86 total QBR, which was the best in the league, and did not throw a single interception over those last 6 games. Let's talk about the defending champion Eagles, who retooled. They started rookie minicamp as well after losing Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, and some more names from their defense. They drafted Alabama linebacker Jahad Campbell with the 31st pick. GM Howie Roseman saying that he was top 10 on their board. So, of course, we're still 9 months until Super Bowl 60, but the Eagles are currently the co-favorites alongside the Chiefs, those upstart Chiefs, to take the Lombardi. Philly and Kansas City have combined to win each of the last 3 Super Bowls. In your mind, Woody, do you agree with the odds makers? Who do you think can contend with the Eagles?
How about the Los Angeles Rams? We saw in the divisional round, the Rams had a great opportunity to win that game on the road. And you're talking about a team that's pretty stacked. Out goes Cooper Kupp, in comes Devontae Adams. I think that's an upgrade at the wide receiver position. They're basically returning almost everyone on both sides of the ball. And we saw how good that young Rams defense played against the Philadelphia Eagles last year in inclement weather. So another year moving forward, they should be even better. So with Matthew Stafford back in the fold at the quarterback position, look for the Rams. The Rams is a serious contender in the NFC.
You said it. The Rams allowed only 13.5 points per game over their final 4 games of the season. Only the Ravens allowed fewer points per game over that.
From the NFL, the Giants' Malik Neighbors has a message for whomever will be playing quarterback in New York. Get him the ball. Neighbors coming off a rookie season with 109 catches for 1,204 yards, but he wants more. Giants signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston and drafted Jackson Dart to play quarterback. And Neighbors wants whichever one is in the game to get him the rock so he can get paid.
I ain't going to speak on all receivers, but I'm going to speak on, and I'm speaking on all receivers. We all feel the same way. But we don't like we don't like not getting the ball, especially like, okay, cool. We done ran about 100 routes in the week. We done watched the film on the DB. We done learned the plays that we want to call. And you told me I was going to get the ball. I'm getting open, and I'm not getting that pill. We got a problem.
Neighbors got plenty of targets last season. He was targeted on roughly a third of his routes run, the highest percentage by any rookie wide receiver in the last 15 seasons. The only qualified receiver targeted on a higher percentage of his routes last season, Puka Nacua, at 40% for the Rams.
Well, I'm going to start with the New York Giants, and I think a lot of people have talked bad about Brian Daboll and Joe Shane based on what happened with Saquon Barkley, but you got to give them their flowers right now. Anytime you get Abdul Carter, who most thought was the best, most talented player in the draft, and you come back in at the back of the first round and you trade in and you get your quarterback of the future, we thought it was impossible they could serve 2 masters, meaning win now with Abdul Carter and also listen to the merit of the owner and get the quarterback of the future. They did both of them. Tremendous job by Brian Daboll and Joe Shane. And for me, a team that I thought, Matt, that probably could have done a little bit more, kind of left you going, man, I want a little bit more. How about the Pittsburgh Steelers? I think, we all wonder who's going to play quarterback for them. And I get it, all the rumors about Aaron Rodgers and everything going on there. But at some point, somebody's got to line up and play the quarterback position. I love Derek Harmon as a defensive tackle. He can come in and learn under Cam Haywood. But at some point, we got to get a quarterback. And no disrespect to Mason Rudolph or Will Howard, I don't think any one of those are scaring Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson. So I just wonder what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing and if they're putting too many of their eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket.
Yeah, and you also wonder what they know that none of us do, because I'm with you. Going into the drafts, they were one of the 4 or 5 teams, like, you have to have a quarterback, and they left a lot to be desired, but you know who always gives it?
Nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn cách làm một chiếc túi đơn giản từ len nhé. Nguyên liệu của mình cần có chính là len này. Mình sẽ sử dụng 3